Welcome to another episode of Cup of Joe. I am your host, CEO of Major and Plan Giving Development, Joe Tumalo. And this is part 3 of a 3-part series with my guest, Brantley Boyett from Giving Docs. Welcome back, Brantley.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you so much for doing this. These little segments were influenced by a great report that you have available that will be available to everyone. We'll give out that link or your email address at the end. They can get it. Highly recommend. It's easy to read. It's fascinating, and it's also really practical in our work in helping you get more and better results in plan giving and major giving. So this segment, we're going to talk about some research by Catherine White, correct?
Catherine White, Professors Catherine White and Darren Dahl at the University of British Columbia Sauder School of Business.
Yeah, and I think people will find it interesting and helpful. So
Great.
What are the big takeaways that you got from it?
So the scientists up in British Columbia did a study, and the question was, how does mortality salience affect generosity? So as a refresher, mortality salience is a measure of a person's ability to conceive of their own death. And what the scientists did was they brought people in for a study and didn't tell them what it was about, of course. And they had half of the audience bring a book that needed to have personal significance to that person. And they separated them into 2 groups, and they had half of the people think about their typical day for about 10 minutes. And then they had the other half of the people contemplate their own death for 10 minutes. And then at the end of the study, they asked the people who had brought their books how likely they were to, at that moment, give their book away. And the people who had been asked to contemplate their own death were 30% more likely to give away that book at their time. And even more so, they'd asked a certain subsect of that group to write something of significance in that book. And those people were more likely to give their book away than the people who hadn't written anything in it. And what they were showing here is that when we're forced to contemplate our own death, as we all have been in the pandemic for the past year, we are more likely to give. And it's great that they did this study and completed it before the pandemic started, because otherwise, it wouldn't work. We're all thinking about death anyway. But the scientists have posited that it has far-reaching implications for what we're doing in the plan giving space, and that this impact of this increased mortality salience that we're all experiencing because we've been thinking about death will be that people are more likely to leave money to organizations. And we've seen that over the past year, that donations are up, volunteerism is up, and people are just more aware of how fragile their life can be.
So clearly we don't want to send them a postcard saying, you don't look so good. Your days are numbered. The clock is ticking. Hello, right? Time to take action. We clearly don't want to send that message out. So
we always say that if you're trying to encourage someone to do something, that fear is not a great leverage tool in the plan giving world. But instead, we should take what we find in the study and apply it in real life. And what we see there is people want a symbolic show of immortality. People want to feel like there's some part of them that lives on past their own mortal life, which means that powerful tools for plan gift officers right now are legacy societies, plaques, even if it's an online legacy society, somewhere where this person's name and impact can live on well past their life, is a great way for people to transcend that mortal plane. And it gives them more peace and stability in their own living life as well.
Nice. Great. They can find out more with the report. How would they get the report, Brantley?
They can email me at brantley@givingdocs.com, BRANTLEY @GIVINGDOCS.com.
And they can learn more about you at givingdocs.com.
Correct.
and tell folks what you do.
Giving Docs is an online estate planning platform that's purpose-built to encourage people to plan their estates now and leave gifts to the organizations that they care about. We work with nonprofits, educational institutions, religious organizations to provide a full suite of estate planning tools to their donors, volunteers, and the people that they serve.
Awesome. Brantley, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
I am your host, Joe Tumalo. And come on back for some more Cup of Joe next time. Till then, thank you.